Hey everyone, Magpie Gaming here, I hope you're all doing well. So in this video I was going to show you a guide to the loot caches that you can find in the outdoor areas of the maps in Escape from Tarkov. But I'm pretty late to the show with this one. There's already a plethora of guides out there that will show you where these loot caches are and images that will show you on the map where they are specifically. And to be honest, referencing a video isn't that easy. It's a lot easier to reference a website. Now the official Escape from Tarkov wiki has these loot caches detailed in their maps on their website, so it's very easy to follow. If you don't know what the loot caches are, these are basically buried boxes in the ground. Well, there's two types. There's one that's a buried box which has basically like a crate that's buried in the ground with some leaves over the top of it, and then you've got another one that looks like basically like a paint pot that's been half buried in the ground. These are spread throughout the open areas on the map, so woods, interchange, customs and shoreline all have them on there, and they spawn anything in them from very rare items such as GP coins and bitcoins up to very mundane items like crackers and bandages and things like that. But they have the ability to spawn anything, so each time you check one it's like a little surprise. You don't know what you're going to get, but every loot cache has something in them. None of them are actually empty. They all have at least one item if not more within them. So I was going to do a guide to where they are on the maps, but as I say, referencing a video is pretty hard and there's already a lot of videos out there showing them. But if you go to the Tarkov wiki, you've got the 4 map images, so you've got customs, woods, shoreline and interchange. It gives you specific areas where these loot caches are, because they can be a little bit tricky to find. Sometimes they're very well hidden, some of them in bushes and things like that, but this gives you a guide as to where they are so that you know where to look for them. Now if you have the luxury like me of having a second screen, what I did with these images was I saved them. I opened these images on my second screen, and then when I go into the map specifically looking for these loot caches, I can just reference my second screen to find them. If you don't have a second screen, you can just open it in the background and tab in and out of your game, so you'll be able to check the map, see where they are, and then go back into your game and hopefully find them. Now I've linked another website in the description down below. There is a guy that has gone around Shoreline and Interchange, and he's better referenced where they are, and he's put larger pictures so that you're able to find them a lot easier. He hasn't done the other 2 maps. He hasn't done woods and he hasn't done customs, but he has done shoreline and interchange. So why was these added to the game? Well, there's a lot of theories. I think quite a lot of them might actually be true. One is to appease those that are doing hatchet runs. You can quite easily just hatchet run these loot caches and extract with some pretty decent items. You don't have to go to the hotspots on the maps where there might be rare loot. You can just do these and you can make a fair bit of money out of them. But I think they have been put in for that reason. I also think they've been put in just to push people into areas of the maps where they wouldn't normally go. So these tend to be in areas where people don't generally go. For instance, on Shoreline, a lot of them are spread on the outskirts of the map, the same as with customs as well. They're not generally places that you would have bothered going to, but now that these loot caches are there, you do quite often find yourselves going there and having a look at them. What I tend to do with these loot caches is, if I'm about to hit up the extract, if I remember where some of them are near the extract and I've got some empty pockets, then I will go and have a look and maybe just fill them with some random loot. Now you might fill it with 45 rounds of HP ammo. You're never going to use that ammo, it's not really worth that much, but it is worth something. And I think if you extract from a game with an empty cell on your inventory, then you're losing money. You know, you may as well fill it up with something, even if you're not going to use it and you're just going to sell it straight on. At least it's putting a little bit of money in your pocket. So as I say, I would have done a guide, but it would have took me so long to find these myself. I didn't really want to make a video where I just watched somebody else's video and ripped off the work that they'd done, because some people have put a lot of work into finding these loot caches and putting guides out, so I didn't want to rip anybody's work in that way. Plus, when 0.12 came out, there was no announcement about these loot caches. It is simply down to the community that has been out there and finding them that has eventually got all the information together to show where they are. But I think they're a great addition to the game. You know, they're a good way to get some items. You know, I've found a couple of car batteries in them sometimes, found some weapons in them sometimes, so they can be quite useful. Good to hit up on extracts, as I say, if you've got a few empty pockets. And yeah, there are rumours that these are going to be nerfed at some point, so let's say for argument's sake there are 20 loot caches on a map. there is an idea floating around that was put out there by Battlestate themselves that they may limit some of them. So out of the 20 that are on a map, maybe only 7 of them will have items in, the rest of them will be empty. I'm really hoping that they don't go down that route though, because I just think they're a great addition. They're a good little way to maybe get a bit of loot out, and I think turning them off in that way, it just takes away from the game. You know, nobody's losing out by there being loot in these other loot caches, so I don't see why they would take it away. Just seems a bit pointless me, another restriction on the game that I'm hoping they don't go ahead and do, but we'll have to wait and see with that one. So yeah, check out the links in the description below if you want to know where these loot caches are. They're a little bit tricky to find, as I say, but once you start to find them and, you know, memorize them, it becomes second nature knowing where they are. They can be quite easy to find once you've learned them. So yeah, let me know what you think about these in the comment section down below, and as always, ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for watching and listening. Don't forget to like, share and subscribe, and I'll catch you in the next one. Take care.